Open your ears and the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Oh, don't be afraid. There's more. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Good morning. Oh, you can do better than that. Good morning. For the next 31 minutes, and then we're into the afternoon. That's how it goes here. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist congregation in Fullerton, California. An inclusive community dedicated to building a better world. Wherever you are, whoever you are, however you identify, whether you're joining us in person or online, you are welcome here. UUCF acknowledges that this land is situated in the original ancestral homelands of the Ahachiman, the Kizh, and Tongva peoples. May we have the humility and courage to help restore what has been broken and the wisdom to live into a new solidarity with indigenous communities around the world. Before we start our service, we have a bunch of announcements for you. Thank you to everyone who signed up to support our Adopt a family of 6, including 4 children, those ages 12, 10, 7, and 5. August has been covered. We will start a new sign-up sheet for September next week. Again, this is for families who are afraid to go out because of the ICE situation, and they are holed up in their home right now. When it comes to going back to school, we just don't know how that is going to go, but we do know that we are here to help and walk the walk instead of just talking the talk. So if you would like to be part of this important support, please sign up and reach out to Debbie Langenbacher. FCC member Barry Woodbridge will fill in for Pat Mannion at today's guided meditation. So guided meditation is on today. They'll meet in the choir room at 1 o'clock. Small group signups are happening this month. We offer several small groups that meet October through June. Let us know which ones you're interested in by using the link. It is found in the newsletter. If you would like an updated name tag that has our brand new logo, I shared that also on the Facebook app as well. We got a brand new logo. It is gorgeous. Just add your name to the sign-up sheet on the red table, and we will get those printed for you. I encourage you to put your preferred pronouns on there. That is an automatic safety issue. When you're an LGBTQ person walking into a congregation, walking into a sanctuary, it is unnerving a lot of the time to walk into this space. Any way we can say, we are here for you, any way we can be more hospitable to a community that is hurting, that is one way you can do it. Saying, I see you, I care about you, and I want to respect who you are and how you identify. Next Sunday, we welcome one of our own, Wendy Carn, to the pulpit as our guest speaker. Wendy recently graduated with her Master's of Divinity, and let me tell you, that is a difficult master's, from Meadville Lombard Theological School. So she will be bringing the message next week. And Patrick will be there to support her as the worship associate as well. We'll be sharing joys and sorrows a little bit later in the service, so if you are in the sanctuary and you'd like to share, the pink slips are on the back of the table, and then we will lift you up. You can fill those out up to the end of time for all ages. And if you're online, I invite you to post your joy and sorrow in the comment section. Those of you in the sanctuary, now we can take a moment to greet one another.
Good morning, everybody. It's so lovely to see you all. For those who are new here, my name is Christine Adaoka, and I'm your music director, and welcome. For our open hymn/hymn of the month, we will be singing hymn number 66, When the Summer Sun is Shining. Please rise in mind, body, or spirit, and join us in singing.
When the summer sun is shining over golden land and sea, and the flowers in the hedgerow welcome butterflies and bees,
Again, we have a new lineup, which includes new music and more music for our worship services. That means we're entering into the sanctuary with song at about 11:27, just getting things going, and then we begin our service. We also have new meditation time that is silent and added music throughout the worship service. We've been working on this to start the service with some hope, go a little deeper, and then send you off with some hope that is much needed as you go into the work week. We all need that right now, a lot of hope. Also, we had some special music for today with Judy. They are ill right now, so they're not able to be here today, so we lift them up. But they were supposed to play today. That's why we see a lot of people in red who dressed up. You look wonderful, and we're glad that you're here anyway. And we wish the best for Judy and Elle. I now invite Linda to light the chalice. For this 1 hour, may we let go of our anxieties, our fears, our anger, our self-doubts, our regrets, our petty grievances, and our distractions. If only for this 1 hour, let the flame of this chalice burn them from our hearts and minds and light our way to peace and serenity. For this only 1 hour. Please join me in saying our unison affirmation on the screen. This flame affirms the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment. Love is the doctrine that we share. The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need. Thus do we covenant with one another.
Good morning. It's our custom to provide donations of non-perishable food and personal care items for Pathways of Hope, a local food bank. Please check the dates on your items, though we are unable to donate if any items are expired. As the children come forward, they are asked to collect the donations placed at the end of the rows, and now the children are invited to come forward for Time for All Ages.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and on this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and on this we live.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Megan Watson, and I am the teen coordinator here at UUCF. This is Joy Ellis, our elementary coordinator. And today we have a story. I feel like this is the second time I've done it recently. I'm not going to read the story that's on the screen. I'm going to read a different story. But before we get into it, I want to ask a very important question to my three friends up front. What is your favorite animal? Anyone have an answer right away? What's your favorite animal, Mike?
Probably a king cobra.
Ooh, king cobra. Ryan, what's yours?
Maybe chicken.
A chicken. I love it. Andrew, you got a, maybe not your favorite, but like one you like a lot. Do you want to think about it, and maybe at the end of my story you'll have an idea? Okay, cool. Joy, do you have a favorite animal? Elephants and cats, those are good ones. Well, the story we're going to read today is maybe about my favorite animal. So you'll get to find out what mine is. I really love this animal. All right, so This story is called, and it's from the Cherokee Nation. So this is if you were not aware, all of our summer programming has been about different aspects of nature and indigenous stories around those aspects of nature. So this is from the Cherokee Nation, and it is a story about the great ball game between birds and animals. Animals are birds, but you'll see. Once the animals challenged the birds to a great ball game, and the birds accepted. The leaders made the arrangements and fixed the day, and when the time came, both parties met at the place for the ball dance. The animals on the smooth grass near the river, and the birds in the treetops over by the ridge. The captain of the animals was the bear, who was so strong and heavy that he could pull down anyone who got in his way. All along the road to the ball ground, he was tossing up great logs to show his strength and boasting of what he would do to the birds when the game began. The turtle, too, not the little one that we have now, but the great original turtles, was with the animals. His shell was so hard that the heaviest blows could not hurt him, and he kept rising up on his hind legs and dropping heavily against the ground, bragging that this is the way he would crush any bird that tried to take the ball from him. Then there was the deer, who could outrun every other animal. Altogether, it was a fine company. The birds had the eagle for their captain, with the hawk and the great tuana, all swift and strong of flight, but still, they were a little afraid of the animals. The dance was over, and they were all pruning their feathers up in the trees and waiting for the captain to give the word, when there came two little things, hardly larger than field mice, climbing up in the tree in which sat perched the bird captain. At last, they reached the top, and creeping along the limb to where the eagle captain sat, they asked to be allowed to join the game. The captain looked at them, and seeing that they were 4-footed, he asked, why did they not go to the animals, where they belonged? The little thing said that they had, but the animals had made fun of them and driven them off because they were so small. Then the bird captain pitied them and wanted to take them. But how could they join the birds when they had no wings? The eagle, the hawk, and the others consulted, and at last it was decided to make some wings for the little fellows. They tried for a long time to think of something that might do, until someone remembered the drum they had used in the dance. The head was of groundhog skin, and maybe they could cut off a corner and make wings of it. So they took 2 pieces of leather from the drum head and cut them into the shape of wings, and stretched them with cane splints and fastened them to the forelegs of one of the small animals. And in this way, it became the bat. I love bats. They threw the ball to him and told him to catch it. And by the way, he dodged and circled about, keeping the ball always in the air and never letting it fall to the ground. The birds soon saw that he would be one of their best men. Now they wanted to fix up the other little animal, but they'd used all of the leather to make wings for the bat, and there was no time to send for more. Somebody said they might do it by stretching his skin. So 2 large birds took hold from opposite sides with their strong bills, and they pulled at his fur for several minutes. They managed to stretch the skin on each side between the fore and hind feet until they had the flying squirrel. To try him, the bird captain threw up the ball. When the flying squirrel sprang off the limb after it, caught it in his teeth, and carried it through the air to another tree nearly across the grass. When they were all ready, the signal was given and the game began. But almost at the first toss, the flying squirrel caught the ball and carried it up a tree, from which he threw it to the birds, who kept it in the air for some time until it dropped. The bear rushed to get it, but the martin, which is a type of bird, darted after it and threw it to the bat, who was flying near the ground. By his dodging and doubling, kept it out of the way of even the deer until he finally threw it between the posts and won the game for the birds. The bear and the turtle, who had boasted so of what they would do, never even got a chance to touch the ball. For saving the ball when it dropped, the birds afterwards gave the martin a gourd in which to build his nest, and he still has it to this day. So we're going to learn a little bit more about animals, but that's the story of how my favorite animal came to be, because he wanted to play in the game. Oh. All right, my friends, let's head to our classes.
Go with wisdom, go with wonder, go to greet our brand new day. Learn to see the light within
Those joining us online are invited to share in all caps. We don't have any online joys or sorrows today, but if you do worship with us online ever, and you do have a joy or sorrow and can't be here, you can put it in Zoom or put it in Facebook. If you ever would like to talk about an issue together, of course, I'm available for you. And you can reach out by text or call or email. Linda, can you help me as we begin by lighting a candle for all our concerns for the larger world? Our wish for peace and justice, our hopes for the children who you saw this morning who are going to inherit this planet. May this candle represent all the wishes and calls to action that are more, much more than we can articulate in this space. And now let us share the personal joys and sorrows in our lives. Of course, we lift up Judy and Al this morning for having COVID. So we lift them up. Jerry has a joy. Linda Duarte Wolf, the worship associate today, has a guest, two guests, daughter Alicia and granddaughter Sierra, and of course me, being Jerry. As a great joy. We're glad you're here. Natalie has a joy and a concern. I got a part-time job last week. That's the joy. I need a full-time job with benefits to take care of my family. I have a job interview for a full-time position on Monday. She says, please pray I get this job. Thank you, Natalie. A joy from Aaron O'Donnell. We're looking forward to hosting the Family Circle Dinner next Saturday. All ages welcome. Do we have room for others to still join? Yes. We do? Okay. So if you would like some good food and good company, sign up for that. Ed Jabrin had a sorrow, and he asked me if this would be appropriate. And I said, whatever on your heart with a sorrow, please put it down. His sorrow is fear and anger that we may have a nuclear war before we have an election. And I think that's on our minds too, especially with the invitation to a war criminal to be on American soil this week. That is weighing on our minds. And so, Ed, thank you for your sorrow. Barry says, Michael Cantillo, a very close and dear friend of mine, died Thursday from complications of a stroke. I will miss Mike and his always cheerful demeanor. Our hearts go out to you, Barry. We now light one more candle for all the joys, concerns, and sorrows that remain unexpressed but are still held close to our hearts. And now please join in saying the affirmation. We join you in celebrating your joys. May you feel our love and compassion for your sorrows and concerns, for all that is spoken and unspoken. May the caring of our beloved community sustain us all.
For our next hymn, we'll be singing hymn number 131, Love Will Guide Us. Please rise in mind, body, or spirit and join us in singing.
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us.
Before we begin our meditation, I'd like to thank Dennis Spiro for leading the adult education today on Stoicism, and it really fit our topic of serenity. As we move into the spirit of meditation, reflection, and prayer, you are invited to close your eyes, take a deep breath, or whatever helps you find your center. Let us find a calm place within and drop into a pool of serenity, a pool of tranquility. Let us open ourselves even more fully to that eternal mystery which lures us onward toward life and creativity. Find the courage to live our faith, to speak our truth, and to strive together for a world where freedom abounds and justice truly does roll down like water. Hold one another in the deep and tender places with compassion, and grace one another by sharing our own vulnerabilities, being ever mindful that we are all soulmates. Now let us share a moment of silence. Thank you, Christine. That was beautiful. With all the chaos and stress we're experiencing outside of us, let us now pause to look inward, exploring, if we dare, the secret places where motives are made and intentions live. Beneath appearances, what kind of person are we? Is the inner self congruent with the one that rejoices with friends, assists the affirm, comforts the crying child? As we remember mistakes we have made, impure thoughts we have had, schemes we have hatched, we know that all is not right within. We are born to inconsistency, not purity, and conscience is a dubious guide that leads us stumbling along the path of virtue. This, then, is our estate, our inescapable humanness. Let us recognize and not deny our imperfections, forgive and not condemn ourselves. May growing awareness of our mixed motives and morals increase our humility and make possible lives of greater sensitivity, sincerity, and serenity.
God, give me coffee to change the things I can and wine to accept the things I cannot. Lord, grant me the strength to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and friends to post my bail when I finally lose it. God, grant me the courage to change the things I can't accept, the serenity to accept the things I've changed, and the wisdom to know the difference. And my favorite, look in the mirror. That's what you can control. Everything else is not your problem. Stay out of it, period. If those sound familiar, they are interpretations of the Serenity Prayer. It was written by American theologian Reinhold Niebuhr in 1943, published in the 40s and 50s. All jokes aside, the Serenity Prayer is not just a spiritual exercise. It is a cognitive exercise that can clarify, if you will, weed out and guide. Instead of saying the prayer with eyes closed, my process is actually on paper, okay? One paper and 3 columns. All right, when I've been in challenging situations, we have column number 1, right? What you do not have power over. Number 2, right? What's in your power to change or overcome. And then number 3, rinse and repeat. And do it with wisdom. The Serenity Prayer has been incredibly valuable in getting the stuff out on paper that is circling my head. When I go into this circular thinking, my husband Michael will say, "You're circling the airport. Land the plane on the ground." Many of you, if I go along in sermons, you may say that. But grabbing a pencil and a paper and writing down can bring us grounding. Bring us back to the present and write them down in columns. So this exercise helps us get that stuff out of our brains and on paper to then gain a different perspective, away from the emotions, those negative voices in our heads, and pushing us towards the truth. And the Serenity Prayer is gaining popularity outside of religious practice. For decades, of course, the Serenity Prayer has been a cornerstone of Alcoholics Anonymous and other 12-step programs, guiding millions through recovery. But today, its reach stretches far beyond the walls of addiction meetings. Therapists across the country, from trauma counselors to grief specialists, are weaving this prayer into everyday health sessions. And again, it's not about religion, it's about the psychological power of being present and accepting what is truth, not the narratives in our heads. I call those narratives in my head the board meeting. And sometimes the critic is stronger than me. So secular therapists are now encouraging clients to interpret God however they need or remove it entirely. They say that the emphasis is not exclusively on faith, but on functionality. This is a tool that works. Get this, a nationwide survey last year of licensed U.S. therapists found that nearly half integrate the Serenity Prayer into some part of their client care. That could be for depression, anxiety, OCD, and trauma therapy, because we are living in a time of chronic uncertainty. And control is the illusion that many chase to feel safe. Serenity Prayer gently dismantles that illusion and replaces it with acceptance. Acceptance, not apathy. Not apathy, but active emotional peace. And look, being in the LA, Orange County area with a culture obsessed on productivity and perfection, the prayer is now effective in fighting the illusion that fixing everything is the same as healing. There's a report called Stress in America. Really fun read. But the report by the American Psychological Association, known as the APA, says 2/3 of adults in the U.S. have chronic stress due to the things that they cannot control. What are the things that go through your mind that you can't control? Climate change? Politics in the United States? Family stuff? Or the past? And the report says it perfectly. Our problem is that our culture doesn't teach us to surrender. It teaches us to fix, to hustle, to manage. Even our emotional pain becomes something we think we shouldn't outsmart, end quote. So I'm going to give you an example of someone, we'll call her Jenna, 38-year-old single mom in Compton, dealing with the aftermath of a toxic marriage. For years, she came to therapy, focused on fixing her husband and co-parenting arrangement, or ex-husband, obsessing over how to make her ex behave better. Her therapist introduced the Serenity Prayer as a framework for emotional discernment. What can this person change? Her responses, her boundaries? What can't she change? Her ex's behavior? What happened next was what therapists often call an emotional unlocking. All right? This is the key. When Jenna, or whoever this is, stopped fighting reality, her body relaxed. Her anxiety symptoms dropped. She began to sleep again. Now, I know that you don't have a paper with you with 3 columns, but I want to do a little exercise and invite you to think about a situation that is bothering you right now. Okay? It could be what is happening in our country and how we are treating our immigrants. It could be your husband snoring and getting on your nerves. What I want you to do is use the Serenity Prayer to divide things into their correct spaces, right? Which can be difficult. That's why the prayer includes the word courage. This is hard stuff, okay? And then there's the third column, the wisdom to go back and see everything and put that in that column. So, for the next 60 seconds, I'd like you to close your eyes and use this for something that you cannot control and what you can. The bell. 60 seconds. About another 10 seconds. I invite you to slowly open your eyes again, not just open. Slowly get back into this space where we are together. How did that feel? How did it feel? Is it a new way of looking at things? Was this uncomfortable? Is it something that you've used before? Again, this is another tool in your spiritual, emotional toolbox that you have with you. And mental health professionals say clients often worry that acceptance of something means that they are giving up and they are weak. If you're worried about that, don't. This takes courage. It's not a weakness. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It means making peace with reality so you can move forward and not backward. When someone accepts their infertility, it doesn't mean they stop trying. It means they stop shaming themselves for something they didn't cause. When someone accepts a chronic illness diagnosis, it doesn't mean that they stop seeking care. It means they stop pretending that they're broken. We all have our brokenness in this life. No one comes away unscathed, but we do have a choice to use principles and tools to help us through them. Christian theologian Lisa Michaels interprets the Serenity Prayer with this quote: "Sit and listen to your inner guidance and allow your inner wisdom to surface." Wisdom for her as a Christian is the Holy Spirit, or the kingdom of God that is within us. Psychologist and spiritual life coach Ash Alves has more of a Buddhist take, saying, "Let go of your attachments." You knew that was coming. Let go of your attachments to what you think you should happen or should have happened. Surrender to what is and trust that you are being guided towards something more profound. And Marianne Williamson looks at Serenity Prayer and surrender through a lens of hope. She says, the moment of surrender is not when life is over, it is when it begins. Y'all, the internet changed it all for us. I mean, tell you why. It changed the way we perceive this planet. We know within seconds when something bad happens thousands of miles away. We see the videos, we see the pictures, we can Zoom, we can FaceTime. The perception of our connectedness is different. The perception of our connectedness to wars and earthquakes that happen on the other side of the world, we know about them in seconds, and with that knowledge comes the illusion that it is our problem to solve, that we are to carry this burden. In other words, we carry the weight of the world's problems because they seem like they are in our own backyards. If you listen to national and international news, how many of you do that and say, I've got to do something? I've got to do something. I've got to help in some way. We see the videos. We watch the pictures live, and in our love for others, we keep the weight and expectation to do something. It's too much of a weight to carry. And this is where the tool of serenity and the Serenity Prayer comes in. It brings us back to the ground in the present. It reminds us what we cannot do, thus giving us the timely push and reminder of what we can do, and in an efficient way. After the election this year, the Franciscan order offered this reworking of the Serenity Prayer, a prayer that is recited at almost every AA meeting. God, grant me the patience to work with the unjust systems I cannot change today, the courage to strategically enact progress when and where I know I can, and the wisdom to know that despite structural oppression, I can still make a difference. I like that. Of course, we can support causes around the world. But right now, there is a heaviness on our minds, on our bodies, literally, on our hearts, and in our spirits. The Serenity Prayer frees us from the illusion that we have the responsibility, much less ability, to be the world's savior. But it allows us to focus on where we can provide service. Remember, where service is our prayer. Where service is our prayer. But in order for us to even provide service, we've got to be healthy ourselves. It's the old airplane logic. You put your mask on first before you help someone else. You're helping someone else and you pass out, no one gets helped. So we've got to be healthy and present in mind and body and spirit in order to do the work we are called to do. A serene heart is one that knows it can, what it can do and what it cannot do. A serene heart is ready for service. And the Serenity Prayer, to us as Unitarians, where service is our prayer, can be an incredible guide.
Thank you, Reverend Rob, for that profoundly meaningful sermon. Thank you. Before we start our offertory today, I'd like to read one of my favorite quotes. And when I talk about friends, I hope you'll think about your friends here at UUCF and the community that we've built here. The circle of friends in our lives Weave an invisible web, a net of love that carries us when we're weak, celebrates us and sings with us when we are strong. With that in mind, please give generously and the best you can to our church in any way you can through your donations, through your service. Here at UUCF, we embrace the possibility of a world filled with peace, acceptance, justice, love, and joy. By our financial commitment, we help make those possibilities real in a challenging world. The basket's being brought around the sanctuary, and there are payment options on the screens. Whatever you're able to give is received with gratitude and love. We thank you for your commitment and generosity.
For our closing hymn, we'll be singing hymn number 100, I've Got Peace Like a River. Please rise in mind, body, or spirit and join us in singing.
Today, our caring listener is Kyra Keener. You can speak with Kyra after the service if you have any concerns or would simply like someone to talk to. And trust that what you share is always confidential.
So as we close today, I have a book recommendation for you. It has helped me a lot. This is the updated version. How many of you have heard of Feeling Good, the new mood therapy? We have some counselors in here. Yes, yes, yes. This is the updated version called Feeling Great. And it has lots of exercises, what we call CBT, right? Cognitive behavioral therapy, where you are writing and you are thinking and you are chewing on the stuff so that you can get it out of your brain on paper and have the serenity to make the difference in this world that is so needed. You have the power to change the world. You have the power, and it starts with love and starts one-on-one. We are not the world's savior, but we can make a difference. We now extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts wherever we may go. And so we say together, Amen. Shalom, Salam, Namaste, and blessed be.